Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to have you with us today. So we want to present you the Schneider Electric solution for home and building automation and dive into the HVAC as part of the KNX world. So we want to cover, of course, it's only 30 minutes. We cannot go in a lot of details. So we're going to be selecting some some precise application to go through with you. So let me share a little bit the agenda of today. So we want to go a little bit more practical, focus in some selected application and see how we normally address in real case, and also inspire you by a case study for a nice project we have done last year with some of those solutions. So if you're a system integrator or somebody that's really have your business related to that and want to know how we address that HVAC and lighting application in home and building, welcome on board, and welcome also if you're a SI that want to partner with us to address into the market the different customer needs with what would be the best HVAC application, but always as an overall concept of the full value prop that we can bring in KNX. So now let's get started. So we are facing nowadays a dilemma in our planet. So it's not a new dilemma, and it's getting worse. We are in a trajectory of 3.5 Celsius degrees increase in the global temperature of the world. So, and we start feeling the effects, right? So we see water shortage, hurricane extinction, and so on. So it's really a dilemma. And we see that in terms of climate change, it's all about emissions, right? So 80% of emission is due to electrical consumption. And the trend, as you can see there, not looks really nice. So that's why it's so important to take actions. And we see many companies and governments put some policies and campaigns in place in order to inhibit the curve, in order to avoid the potential disaster that we could be suffering. So how we face in Schneider? So we are not optimists nor pessimists. We are just activists, okay? And as per today, we have two activists here with you. So myself, I'm Global Business Development for KNX, and Hashim, which is our expert in building solutions and projects. And we want to show you a little bit how we face and how we make it possible to face and cope with that dilemma. How to make it possible, to reduce by 50 the CO2 emission by 2040. So we see a clear path. So we see starting by saving, and being more efficient in building versus historical stock, electrifying, and decarbonize. So that's the clear path that we, as Schneider, will go through in order to reach that objective for the planet. And today we're going to be focused on the first one, about savings in office buildings. Okay, but that's not the only thing we are facing today. The dilemma is now combined with the new trend. Well, what COVID has accelerated during last year and still this year, which some trends we've seen in home and building nowadays. So in the residential space, for example, we see customers looking more and more to different ways to improve their comfort as they are working now from home very often. That also could bring energy efficiency. A lot of us was scared last year with the size of the energy bill. And we still keep, want to keep things reliable and very easy to control. I think that's a key element when you're implementing any system. During the pandemic, also, we see accelerating the commercial building, some trends on flexibility and agile to keep hyper efficiency in building and still keep reliability and safety. So how can we deal with this puzzle, the dilemma itself and those trends and needs that we see in the commercial and home space? Well, we should be able to offer a solution that can answer to all that as a whole. But I will complete this quote in a minute. But let's talk about HVAC, because HVAC can play an instrumental role facing those dilemmas together. So why? Because it's directly linked with sustainability and comfort, okay? From the sustainability side, we see that in terms of consumption, half of the consumption in buildings, it's really related to HVAC. And we have another important block of 20% for lighting, by the way. When it comes to comfort, though, there is a direct link between the well-being and of the people, the way they feel comfortable, to the productivity of those users. So investors are also looking to that, ways that we can improve the well-being of the occupants. And well-being also have an important relation with HVAC, but also lighting. So we need to make sure that we improve their well-being. And when I say well-being, it's not only about the climate itself on that place, the temperature, but also the lighting incidence into that, as well as when the user needs to interact with the system, how easy and comfortable and intuitive it is. Okay, so attacking the left side on the consumption itself, that's the DNA of Schneider, which recently was nominated the most sustainable company in the world. And we do that with a very simple value prop, which is our EcoStruxure architecture solution. That's a complete connected and flexible solution. It's not only about the connected product that you see on the bottom, making sure that in the field, on the space, you have the best condition, but also edge controlling by connecting that to different analytics, apps, and services to make sure that we close that loop and deliver the best experience to the user. And then when it goes to the right, that even that you have sensors and everything that can sense without any interaction of the user, we have also sometimes the need of the user to touch, as I just said some minutes ago. And that kind of user interface should be beautiful from one side because of the architecture perspective and the way it show up to the users, but also intuitive and easy to deal with. Okay, so we need to merge all those things, and then I can complete that quote to say, okay, we should be able to offer a complete solution that can answer this as a whole, but also providing flexibility, comfort, and energy efficiency. Okay, so now let's dive into a little bit more details on the HVAC application itself. So Hashim will come to us to show a little bit how we face the different kind of selected application that we have today, how we apply our products into that, and the benefits that we have to that. And later on, he will show also some real case studies that you can be inspired. So Hashim, floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, Marco. Hi, all. Good morning and good afternoon. Myself, Hashim. We will be continuing with the HVAC application. So in order to make the building energy efficient, smart, comfortable, and green, as Marco mentioned, in addition to the lighting control, HVAC control, blind control, and energy management application, a synergized HVAC application is essential. So let us see some of the SpaceLogic KNX devices and the application and how we will achieve this functionality. In the coming slides, we will be seeing some of the key features of the devices and application along with the case study which we have done one project. So the SpaceLogic KNX HVAC system, which covers all the segments, which includes the residential, small buildings, and large buildings. It is completely flexible with different types of HVAC applications. In the room level control, the SpaceLogic KNX can be used to control various valve drives or underfloor heating, space radiators, and also the fan coil units, which is 2-pipe operation or a 4-pipe operation. We will see some of the use cases in the coming slides. The building level control, it is for the residential and small buildings. The KNX system can act as a mini BMS system, monitoring and controlling various functions in the building. The control includes maybe the lighting, the blinds, the HVAC, the energy metering, point monitoring, and along with the integration to various other protocols, which includes Modbus and BACnet. When it comes to large buildings or critical buildings, the SpaceLogic KNX act as a subsystem controlling the above mentioned application and pass the information to the building management system. This integration is not only limited to the EcoStruxure for building operation, which is from Schneider, but also can be any third-party building management system or SCADA systems. So these systems can further control and monitor various applications in the building. Moreover, the open application integration capability of SpaceLogic KNX through its connectivity layer, which includes Visor for KNX and SpaceLink, offers additional integration options to VRV and VRF systems offered by different manufacturers in the market. So now let's see some of the devices in the KNX based on the application. So we'll go a fast review on the features of this product. Then we will go to the application of each of these devices. So coming to the DIN rail actuators, first we'll take the 24 volt and 230 volt fan coil actuator, which is suitable for 2-pipe and 4-pipe operation. So this can control up to 3 fan stages, like fan speed 1, 2, 3, as well as 2 or 3 point heating and cooling valves. In addition to that, you can have like additional cooling stage or heating stage by having one additional switch actuator, which is already embedded to this device. The actuator features also 2 inputs. So these 2 inputs can be used as floating contacts. This can be used for connecting a window contact for additional energy saving, or a condensate monitoring to generate an alarm. The window contact input can also be configured as a remote temperature sensor, where you can connect a return temperature sensor and connect to the actuator. So similar to that, there is a 0 to 10 volt fan coil actuator is also available. So it has a 0 to 10 volt control capability. It is used to control 0 to 10 volt heating and cooling valves. The fan speed control can be either 3-stage fan speed, or it is possible to control 0 to 10 volt variable fan speeds. It also has an additional relay as well as 2 floating point contacts similar to the one mentioned above. The valve drive controller has a capacity to control the 24 volt and 230 volt valve drive, which is the third device. So in the difference is it does not have a fan stage control. It will be controlling only the heating or cooling valves without having a remote thermistor input. So you can connect a 24 volt or 230 volt valve drives to it. And it has 6 valve drives output. Each valve drive output can be connected up to 4 numbers of 230 volt valve drives, enabling the device to control a large area with a fewer number of outputs. So when we coming to the input part, the first is the Multi-Touch Pro, which is a touch switch that can be installed in a standard electrical back box. There is no need to have a customized back box, and has 8 function pages. So each page we can program from 1 to 4 functions, making a total of around 32 functions, maximum 32 functions. Some of the additional features of this device is like it has 5 customizable message options, which can be used to display some alarms. So if there is a drip tray alarm coming, so that can be used to display the drip tray alarms, water leakage alarms, window sensor alarms, maybe the window is open or closed, that type of alarms, balcony door open, that alarm we can display as messages. And it can also have an option to display 5 service messages, such as do not disturb, service, or alarms. It also has a proximity function, enabling the wake up mode by simply approaching the switch after the sleep mode. It also has a gesture control function. You can move the hand in front of the switch, either horizontally or vertically, which can achieve some functions, maybe to turn on a master light on, maybe moving the AC to the comfort mode or a standby mode. The function page can also be configured to display the information such as the CO2 level inside the room or the humidity values inside the room. The display can also be configured to show some customizable images like the company logo or the user preferred pictures. So along with that features, it also can be programmed as a KNX thermostat, additional to the functions which are mentioned above. The device has a built-in temperature sensor, which is internal to the device. Also, it has an option to connect additional temperature sensor. So it has an additional temperature sensor input. Based on the weightage we given between the additional temperature sensor input and input temperature input, the actual temperature of the space can be calculated. The another device is actually the push button Pro T, which is actually the new device and will be ready for the global launch by the coming week. The device can be configured from 1 to 4 functions. A very important feature of this device with the current scenario and context is one function can be programmed to operate with proximity. So that means you can activate a function without even touching the switch by just passing your hand near to the switch. This enables a hygienic control of a function, especially in the public areas. It is possible to switch between touchless and normal push button operation by using the KNX telegrams. So the device also has a built-in temperature sensor, which can measure the space temperature and can send this information to the HVAC control to further modulate the HVAC system. The set point will be normally adjusted in this case from the central location or a touch panel or an iPad. So these are available in different colors and different finishes. Comfort is very important for everyone in their well-being, and in their working spaces. And the thermal comfort plays an important role in the health and well-being of the individual who spend most of the time in the buildings. So along with the temperature, the one of the important thing is actually the air quality. So our air quality sensor offer this functionality and pass this information to trigger the action, maybe switching the fan speed to higher fan speeds, or it can pass an information to the BMS system in order to maintain always an adequate amount of fresh air in the controlled space. So considering above, let's take a small example in a small residential application. For an underfloor heating system with 4 different zones, the living room may be considered as zone number 1. So there is a heating loop which will be controlling only that area. One device needs to be used to control the lighting, blinds, HVAC in the zone as well as the function in the other areas. It can act as a master switch or something like that. Like that, the other zones are also like maybe bathroom as zone number 2, where there is a separate control for that bathroom. Then bedroom number 1 as zone number 3. Bedroom number 2 as bedroom number 2 plus the ensuite bathroom as zone number 4. So one device in each zone to control the lighting, blinds, and HVAC control. So this type of application we can achieve. The solution can be something like as follows. So each zone, one multi-touch pro we can provide to control HVAC, lighting, blinds, scenes, and other functions, and even display some of the values like the energy metering values or the humidity or temperature. The living room, one multi-touch pro for controlling the living room functions. When it comes to bathroom, the device is placed outside the bathroom for safety reason or maybe by the local regulation. So in that case, the internal temperature sensor of that device will measure only the temperature in that area. So in order to overcome that, an underfloor thermistor can be placed inside the bathroom, and this can measure the temperature and can provide to the remote input terminal of the multi-touch pro. So the multi-touch pro can ignore the temperature reading of the internal temperature sensor and take 100% weightage to the value from the floor thermistor. Bedroom number 1 will also be same control as the living room, considering as a separate zone and a loop. So when it comes to bedroom number 2 and the ensuite bathroom, one multi-touch pro is controlling all the functions. So the multi-touch pro must take the temperature values from 2 places into consideration, which is like bedroom number 2, where the device placed is the major area. Let's consider like 70% weightage to the bedroom and 30% weightage to the bathroom. So with the remote thermistor input and the internal temperature sensor combination, this can be easily achieved without any problem. This is a matter of programming and assigning the weightage to each input. This will enable a perfect and smooth control with the SpaceLogic KNX system in such type of residential application. So let's see some of the commercial building application. As a typical case, we will take a meeting room in an office. In a commercial building, mostly involves with the fan coil for the HVAC control. Depends upon the requirement, it can be a 0 to 10 volt fan coil. It can be a on-off type fan coil actuator or a PWM, which has 2-pipe or 4-pipe operation. The fan speed can be either 3-stage or 0 to 10 volt variable fan speed. Control requirement will be through the local switch, which will be placed inside the area, or it can be from the touchscreen, which will be there in the reception, or a tablet or a building management system for the building. Maybe there is some optional integration requirement can also arise with air quality and integrate these values to the building management system. Let's see an office meeting room application as mentioned. So in the office meeting room, the solution is one device to control all the functions, including HVAC. There is one device, which is the multi-touch pro for the HVAC, lighting, blinds, scenes. Along with these devices, we have a connectivity layer, which is by SpaceLink and Visor for KNX. Which will further enhance the control of other devices like projectors, audio, video, projector screen, projector lifts, etc. in the room. If the multi-touch pro is placed in the location where there is an issue in getting the temperature reading, a remote thermistor in the return duct can be used to get this value and read that value accurately. If the room is with a window or balcony, energy saving actions can be triggered while opening the door, and this information can be displayed as messages in the multi-touch pro, like the one which is shown there. And also there is an information page. One page can be programmed as information page. The CO2 information can also be displayed in the screen. And if the value is higher than the configured CO2 set point, then the information will be passed to the BMS system to supply a larger amount of fresh air into the room. Additional amount of energy saving can also be achieved by using KNX occupancy sensors, along with timing and logic engine of the visor for KNX and SpaceLink. The room can trigger occupied mode, unoccupied mode, non-working hours mode, working hours mode, and holiday mode, etc., which will make the room and eventually the building to shift to different energy saving scenarios or scenes, acting as a smart, energy efficient, and intelligent. The same application, this is the application for the office. It is not mandatory that it can be used only in office. The same application can be replicated in any other areas such as meeting rooms or office areas, classrooms, restaurants, etc. So when it comes to larger public areas such as corridors, shopping malls, big office areas, and hospitals, the set point temperature is managed from the central workstation by the engineering team or maybe the facility management team. The field level set point is not mandatory in most of the cases, but at the same time, they should be able to control the lighting and blind application, maybe some other applications also. So our new push button Pro T serves the purpose in a much economical way. Instead of having one device to measure the temperature and another device to control the functions, the push button Pro T controls the lighting and blind applications and pass the space temperature to the HVAC system to modulate the heating or cooling demand in the installed spaces. So this is also suited for areas such as cellars, toilets, bathrooms, spa areas, restaurants, kitchens, classrooms, etc. A complete wrap-up of the KNX HVAC solution from Schneider includes the control of KNX valve drives and valve drive controls for 24 volt and 230 volt valves, and fan coil unit based system which can control 2 pipe and 4 pipe operation. The fan speed can be 3 fan speed or 0 to 10 volt variable fan speeds. And FCU actuator is available for 0 to 10 volt PWM and 3-point floating valves. And the VRV and VRF systems integration with different manufacturers by using KNX, Modbus, backnet protocols. Also integration to various other Modbus devices, either using Modbus RTU or Modbus over TCP/IP. The supervision and control of this is possible through SpaceLink, visor for KNX, touchscreens, cloud connectivity, automation server, EcoStructure, building management system, and SCADA systems. Along with the control possibilities, it is also important that how easy the system can be configured, monitored, and controlled. The simple configuration steps in SpaceLogic KNX will enable easy commissioning of any complex type of HVAC application. At the same time, the user-friendly and ready-made dashboards and widgets allow the user to analyze the trends and logs of the HVAC system from the server or from the mobile gadgets. The system parameter can be altered to attain a perfect energy-saving scenarios required for the building, at the same time keeping it extreme comfort level. A fully automated HVAC control system allow the user to completely automate the building by different inputs from presence detectors, CO2 or humidity sensors, time schedules, logic functions, etc. to switch between comfort, standby, night, heat or frost protection, or any other predefined modes. The SpaceLogic KNX system can be integrated to EcoStructure building operation or a third-party SCADA system with a very minimal time, making it a perfect option for all intelligent and smart buildings. So it's great to see that we have a solution to fulfill the market, which is delivered by the expert. And we did validate that in some real projects. And today we would like to bring a case where we have applied the SpaceLogic KNX solution through an eco expert. Let's have a look on that. We had in front of us a hotel project in Egypt, where the requirement is to have highly intelligent and energy efficient solution, providing guest satisfaction and comfort. The integration of this information was required to be passed to various other systems. The solution was given with SpaceLogic KNX based lighting, dimming, blinds, and HVAC control with energy management functions. The project consists of 6 interconnected towers that contains a total of 1,500 plus guest rooms, residential rooms, and meeting rooms, which occupies more than 75% of the hotel space, where the requirement is to have highly energy efficient luxury system, controlling the lighting, blinds, HVAC, and courtesy functions, while maintaining the comfort and safety to the guest. There are 1,500 plus fan coil units in total that requires to be controlled and energy efficient based on the information from the intelligent key card holder to identify the guest and staff entry, and property management system integration to identify the room is rented or unrented, and from the building management system. 15,000 plus KNX devices were used with a huge IP networking consisting of 820 IP gateways, which communicates to the central location through KNX over IP, which is KNX Secure IP, and BACnet over IP at the backbone of the project. In addition, the EcoStruxure building operation from Schneider Electric is used as the BMS interface, which provides additional dashboards related to the energy saving. With the connectivity layer and the EcoStruxure building operation, the trends and logs were created and given to the user for easy monitoring and controlling and troubleshooting the overall system. So this is the complete solution which we have offered in this project. And this project is none other than the project, which is called as Al-Masa Smart Hotel, elected as the winner of the People Choice Award by KNX organization in 2020. So by using KNX SpaceLogic devices with the connectivity layer, integrated to EcoStruxure building operation and analytics, provided a unique value proposition to the customer. 15,000 plus devices, which include 1,500 plus fan coil units, are controlled in a highly energy efficient way in this project. So you can find the details about the project in the KNX website as well as the KNX documentation. So that's all about the KNX application. So now switching back to Marco for the next key takeaways.
Yeah, thank you, Hashim. Just to mention, one of the takeaway that the new normal brought new need, as we saw. So, for example, the Push Button Pro that we are now launching now globally in April with the temperature sensor inside, also bring with him the touchless function, because there is this trend that's need that not necessarily the user need to touch the device to control it. So we are always attuned to those dilemma and new trends that we mentioned at the beginning, offering, depending on the need of the customer, the best that can fit comfort and energy efficiency. So SpaceLogic is there for it. And as Hashim said, we have our network of experts. We welcome you if you're a system integrator that want to partner with us with our EcoExpert program. If you want to join us, you have the contacts there, but feel free to reach me and Hashim and different means here. Thanks a lot anyway for your presence, and feel free to reach us out in case you need any other further clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.